You know that feeling when you just need to hit pause on the whole world and just think? That urge to find a quiet corner away from all the noise? Well, that is the very heart of the tarot card we are diving into today, the Hermit, our guide for that essential journey inward.
So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to meet the Hermit and really break down his symbols. Then, we'll explore the two sides of this card, the noble search for wisdom versus the danger of getting lost in solitude. After that, we'll get super practical with advice for your love life and your career, and we'll wrap it all up with a really powerful question the Hermit asks every single one of us.
All right, let's jump in. Who exactly is this solitary figure? What is it that makes the Hermit the ultimate seeker of truth? First off, the Hermit is card number 9 of the major arcana. And in numerology, the number 9 is a pretty big deal. It represents completion, the end of a cycle, and all the wisdom you've picked up along the way. So he's not just standing on some random mountain, he's at the very peak of his own understanding, looking back at the entire journey that got him there.
Now you'll notice the Hermit isn't just wandering around empty-handed. He is fully equipped. That lantern he's holding, it has a star inside, which is all about the inner wisdom that lights our path. And the staff he's carrying, well, it's more than just a walking stick. It represents the power and authority that come from true self-knowledge. And the mountaintop itself? That symbolizes a huge level of spiritual achievement, the kind of perspective you only get when you rise above the noise of daily life.
So what does it mean when the Hermit shows up upright in your reading? Well, you should really see it as this powerful, personal invitation. The card is basically asking you to turn down the volume on the outside world and listen to your own wisdom. I just love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. This isn't about being lonely, not at all. It's about consciously choosing solitude so you can finally hear your own inner voice without a million other opinions shouting over it. Yeah, this card is a huge indicator that it's time for some deep soul-searching and introspection. It's about you making a deliberate choice to step back, find your own inner compass, and reconnect with your deeper sense of purpose. A lot of the time, the Hermit pops up when you're at a major crossroads, maybe questioning your values or where your life is headed. It's just a really clear signal that now is the time to pause, take a breath, and figure out what truly, deeply matters to you. But what happens when that journey inward goes a little too far? Or what if you're avoiding it completely? That, my friends, brings us to the Hermit reversed, when we're no longer seeking but are actually lost in solitude. Okay, that sounds pretty intense, but it's a serious warning. That search for your inner truth is so important, but there is a real danger in cutting yourself off completely from the world and from the people who care about you. When this card is reversed, the keywords definitely take a darker turn. We're talking loneliness, isolation, withdrawal, even paranoia. This is a whole different energy from the positive, chosen solitude of the Upright card. This is a painful kind of isolation, whether you've done it to yourself or it's been forced on you. And here's what's so fascinating about the reversed Hermit. It has this weird duality. It can mean you're hiding from the world too much, or it can mean you're not spending enough time alone because you're scared of what you might find in the quiet. It's a really good opportunity to ask yourself, which of those extremes feels a little closer to home right now? Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this super practical. How does this solitary vibe play out in our relationships? It's time to talk about the Hermit's guidance on love. So in a love reading, getting the Upright Hermit is actually great. It means taking some healthy space to grow as a person, which in the long run makes your partnership even stronger. Reversed, though, that's where it can point to some painful distance. We're talking about feeling lonely while in a relationship, feeling rejected, or like one person has just completely withdrawn emotionally. And what about our 9-to-5s, our professional lives? Let's take a look at what the Hermit has to say about career and money. When it comes to your career, the Hermit is all about purpose. Upright, it suggests you're looking for way more than just the paycheck. You want your work to actually feel meaningful. But reversed, it can mean you're feeling like a total outcast at work. Maybe a sign that it's time to try and reconnect with your colleagues or your passion for the job. All right, we've explored the light and the shadow of the Hermit's journey. Now let's bring it all home in our final section, the Hermit's final question. So how do you embrace all this amazing wisdom without getting totally lost? Here's a simple 3-step guide. First, carve out a little sacred space for yourself. Even a quiet corner of a room works. Second, turn off the distractions. Yep, I mean your phone. You have to give your mind some room to breathe. And third, find a mentor or a guide.
This could be a teacher, a therapist, even an author you admire. Remember, the Hermit is both the seeker and the guide.
And that brings us to the Hermit's last question for you. It's the one this whole journey has been leading to. It's so simple, but it is so profound. What truth will you find when you are finally, truly alone with your thoughts?
Continue your tarot journey by liking, subscribing, and checking out our books. The link is in the description below. Until next time, goodbye.